Following the breakthrough of Mad Max, Gibson's career began to gather momentum with a string of diverse and critically acclaimed roles. His next project, Tim, 1979, saw him stepping into a more dramatic space, acting alongside seasoned performers like Piper Laurie. Though the film was modest in scale, it earned him his first taste of formal recognition, showcasing his ability to balance raw intensity with nuanced emotion. This early experimentation demonstrated that Gibson was not content to be confined to a single type of role. He was determined to explore a range of characters, from vulnerable everymen to larger-than-life action heroes. The pivotal turning point in Gibson's international career came with Gallipoli, 1981, directed by Peter Weir. A harrowing tale set during World War I, the film explored the futility of war and the fragility of human life through the eyes of young Australian soldiers. Gibson's performance as Archie Hamilton, a sensitive and idealistic recruit, revealed a depth and emotional sophistication that distinguished him from the more one-dimensional action stars of the era. The film was not only a critical success, but also achieved international distribution, including in the United States, cementing Gibson's status as a rising global talent. Gallipoli demonstrated that he could carry complex dramas as convincingly as he had the visceral energy of Mad Max, broadening his appeal and setting the stage for Hollywood to take notice. The momentum continued with Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, 1981, where Gibson returned to the role that had defined his early career. With a significantly larger budget and more ambitious production design, the sequel transformed the post-apocalyptic narrative into a full-scale cinematic spectacle. Audiences around the world were captivated by Gibson's portrayal of Max as a stoic, haunted, yet fiercely determined survivor. His physicality, combined with the subtle layers of vulnerability he brought to the character, redefined what it meant to be an action hero in the 1980s. The film's massive success, earning over $36 million on a $4 million budget, confirmed Gibson as a bankable star and solidified the Mad Max franchise as a cultural phenomenon. By the mid-1980s, Gibson had begun navigating the challenging waters of Hollywood stardom. His casting in Lethal Weapon, 1987, marked a critical turning point in his career, demonstrating his versatility in blending action with comedy and emotional nuance. The chemistry between Gibson and Danny Glover, combined with his ability to deliver both high-octane thrills and heartfelt character moments, transformed the film into one of the decade's defining action franchises. Gibson's approach was unconventional. His intensity sometimes clashed with co-stars and directors, and his personal habits, including bouts of heavy drinking, occasionally complicated production. Yet these challenges did little to diminish his on-screen presence. If anything, they contributed to his reputation as a fearless, uncompromising performer willing to push boundaries for the sake of authenticity. During this period, Gibson's career choices began to influence the trajectories of others in Hollywood. By declining certain major roles, such as in The Untouchables' Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Oliver Stone's JFK, he inadvertently opened doors for actors like Kevin Costner, whose careers were dramatically boosted as a result. Gibson's presence in Hollywood was not only felt through his performances, but also through the ripple effect of his decisions, demonstrating his indirect yet profound influence on the industry. It was during this era that Gibson's interest in directing began to take shape. With a deep understanding of cinematic storytelling, honed through years of acting in both independent Australian films and Hollywood blockbusters, he was uniquely positioned to transition behind the camera. His directorial debut, The Man Without a Face, 1993, while modest in scope, hinted at his potential as a filmmaker capable of handling emotionally complex narratives. The film's success laid the groundwork for what would become his defining directorial achievement, Braveheart, 1995. Braveheart not only showcased Gibson's directorial ambition, but also his willingness to take enormous creative risks. With the original director, Terry Gilliam, moving on to another project, Gibson seized the opportunity to helm the film himself. Studios were skeptical, particularly about Gibson's insistence on portraying William Wallace, a role that demanded both physical prowess and intense emotional commitment. Gibson even financed part of the production out of his own pocket, underscoring his dedication to the project. The gamble paid off spectacularly. Braveheart earned $213 million worldwide and won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, firmly establishing Gibson as a dual-threat talent. an actor and director capable of shaping both performa, NCA and vision. Yet even at the height of his creative powers, Gibson's career was punctuated by setbacks. Films such as Conspiracy Theory, Payback, and The $1 Million Hotel failed to resonate commercially, often due to a combination of unconventional storytelling, studio interference, or timing. Controversies off-screen also began to dominate headlines, with incidents involving arrests and public disputes casting shadows over his career. Still, Gibson's resilience was evident. Even in periods of relative professional exile, he continued to craft films, mentor emerging talent, and explore projects that interested him on a personal and artistic level. Gibson's ability to reinvent himself became most visible in the 2010s. Hacksaw Ridge, 2016, a harrowing World War II drama, marked a triumphant return to directing, earning critical acclaim and multiple Academy Award nominations. The film reaffirmed Gibson's capacity to create emotionally gripping, visually striking cinema that resonates with audiences worldwide. In subsequent years, projects like Sound of Freedom, 2023, further demonstrated his ongoing commitment to directing, proving that even after decades in the industry, Gibson remained a force capable of commanding attention, shaping narratives, and pushing boundaries. Ultimately, Mel Gibson's story is one of relentless ambition, extraordinary talent, and undeniable complexity. He has navigated the highest peaks of fame and the lowest valleys of scandal, yet through it all, he has maintained a singular vision and a commitment to his craft. His journey serves as a reminder that success in Hollywood is rarely linear. It is shaped by talent, timing, risk-taking, and an unwavering willingness to endure, adapt, and reinvent. Today, Gibson stands as both a cautionary tale and an inspirational figure, a living testament to the enduring power of passion, resilience, and artistic daring in an industry that rewards few but remembers many. A talent like Mel Gibson is exceptionally rare, even in Hollywood, a place where talent often competes with extreme luck. It's not just rare to rise to stardom in a few years. It's rarer still for an actor to successfully transition into a director, commanding both the camera and the narrative, while navigating the unpredictable whirlwinds of fame. Gibson's career is a tale of soaring triumphs, staggering setbacks, and relentless determination, a living testament to resilience in the face of enormous pressure. His story is a vivid illustration of the intersection between raw talent, personal choices, and the unforgiving machinery of the entertainment industry. Contrary to popular belief, Mel Gibson is not truly Australian. Born in Peekskill, New York in 1956, he moved to Australia at the age of 12 following his father, Hutton Gibson, a devoutly religious and outspoken man. Life in Australia was far from comfortable. His father labored tirelessly to support a sprawling family of 11 children. Mel's upbringing was shaped by frugality, discipline, and the pressures of a household steeped in faith and principle. These early experiences instilled in him a toughness, independence, and resilience that would later become defining characteristics of both his persona and his performances. Acting was never his first ambition. He originally wanted to draw and write, but his sister secretly submitted him to the National Institute of Dramatic Art, NIDA, in Sydney. At his audition, Gibson impressed the panel with a natural charisma and emotional depth, earning immediate acceptance and setting the stage for a career that would seem improbable yet unstoppable. Gibson's rise was unconventional from the start. His first film, Summer City, 1977, offered only a small glimpse of what was to come. The breakthrough came with Mad Max, 1979, a film that would define him. The story of his audition has become the stuff of Hollywood legend. The night before, he had been involved in a bar fight, leaving his face bruised. Attending the audition reluctantly, Gibson expected nothing, yet casting directors were captivated by the raw intensity his battered appearance conveyed. While some claim he was always intended for the lead, the myth of the bar fight amplified the public perception of him as fearless and untamed. Made on a modest $350,000 budget, Mad Max grossed over $100 million worldwide, establishing Gibson as a global phenomenon almost overnight and proving that his screen presence could command audiences on an international scale. Following Mad Max, Gibson rapidly built an international profile. He starred in Tim, 1979, and Peter Weir's Gallipoli, 1981, a film that earned critical acclaim and helped him cross over into the US market. His performance in The Road Warrior further cemented his reputation as an actor capable of blending physicality, charisma, and emotional intensity. By this point, Hollywood recognized that Gibson was more than a fleeting action star. He was a leading man with the ability to hold audiences' attention through sheer force of presence. Yet his early success came with personal struggles. Gibson's heavy drinking and volatile temperament became notorious, particularly during the filming of The Bounty, where clashes with co-stars like Anthony Hopkins made headlines. Despite these challenges, his unpredictability sometimes allowed others to shine, inadvertently creating opportunities for actors such as Daniel Day-Lewis and Liam Neeson. It was during this era that he starred in Lethal Weapon, 1987, a defining moment for his career. Director Richard Donner had considered Bruce Willis or Sylvester Stallone for the lead, yet Gibson's raw, naturalistic energy brought a blend of humor, danger, and vulnerability to the role, creating a new archetype of the action hero, one who was both tough and emotionally accessible. Gibson's choices often influenced the trajectories of other actors. By declining roles in The Untouchables, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Oliver Stone's JFK, he inadvertently boosted Kevin Costner's career. These decisions reveal an unintentional mentorship dynamic. Gibson's presence, or absence, helped shape Hollywood's landscape as much as his performances did. Transitioning into directing, Gibson's first venture was The Man Without a Face, 1993, a modestly successful debut that hinted at his storytelling potential. It was Braveheart, 1995, however, that solidified him as a visionary filmmaker. Initially set to be directed by Terry Gilliam, Gibson took over despite skepticism from studios, financing portions himself and insisting on playing William Wallace, a 20-year-old warrior despite being nearly 40. The gamble paid off. Braveheart earned $213 million globally on a $72 million budget, won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, and demonstrated Gibson's ability to blend epic scale, emotional depth, and narrative precision. The film's sweeping battle sequences and poignant storytelling showed that Gibson's vision extended beyond performance. He understood the power of cinema to move and inspire. Even at the height of his directorial acclaim, Gibson faced setbacks. Films like Conspiracy Theory, Payback, and The $1 Million Hotel underperformed due to studio interference, creative risks, or misaligned marketing. Off-screen controversies, including arrests, leaked recordings, and public outbursts in the mid-2000s, further complicated his career, resulting in a near exile from Hollywood. These years were marked by reflection, selective work, and a cautious rebuilding of reputation. Despite the turbulence, Gibson's talent endured. His return to acting in Edge of Darkness, 2010, was modest, but his directorial comeback with Hacksaw Ridge, 2016, was triumphant. The film, a harrowing World War II drama, grossed $180 million on a $40 million budget and earned multiple Oscar nominations. It demonstrated Gibson's enduring skill for combining visceral action with emotional storytelling, proving he could command both the screen and the director's chair, even after years of controversy. In the 2020s, Gibson has focused primarily on directing, emphasizing creative control and storytelling aligned with his vision. Sound of Freedom, 2023, achieved commercial and critical success, and upcoming projects include a sequel to The Passion of the Christ and a potential 5th Lethal Weapon. These choices reflect his continued commitment to personal, challenging, and impactful stories. Mel Gibson's journey is a portrait of talent, resilience, and reinvention. He navigated meteoric stardom, personal scandal, and the relentless scrutiny of Hollywood with a combination of daring, instinct, and vision. His impact extends beyond his own career. The opportunities he declined, the actors he indirectly supported, and the risks he took behind the camera shaped the industry in subtle but lasting ways. Today, Gibson remains a testament to the enduring power of ambition, creativity, and the willingness to chart one's own course in an unforgiving and unpredictable world. His story proves that even amidst controversy and adversity, true talent can not only survive but thrive, leaving an indelible mark on cinema. Even at the peak of his career, setbacks were inevitable. Films such as Conspiracy Theory, Payback, and The $1 Million Hotel failed to resonate with audiences, often due to a mix of studio interference, creative disagreements, or simply being ahead of their time. Yet, Gibson's influence extended far beyond the box office. He was a mentor, a talent scout, and a force behind the scenes who nurtured the careers of other actors. Russell Crowe's rise to superstardom in Gladiator and Hugh Jackman's early breakthroughs were, in part, shaped by opportunities Gibson either created or declined, revealing an unspoken dynamic where his choices reverberated throughout Hollywood. Even when he wasn't the face on the screen, his impact was palpable, a testament to his instinct for recognizing talent and storytelling potential. The mid-2000s brought one of the most challenging periods of Gibson's life. A string of public controversies, including arrests, leaked recordings, and personal scandals, thrust him into the harsh glare of the media. Once celebrated by studios and audiences alike, Gibson found himself largely unwelcome in mainstream Hollywood. Projects that once would have been a certainty became inaccessible. Yet, even in relative exile, he refused to abandon his craft. Independent projects such as Get the Gringo and Blood Father allowed him to regain control, experiment with narrative style, and assert his vision on a smaller scale. These films were not mainstream hits, but they were crucial for Gibson's artistic rehabilitation, proving that his creative instincts remained sharp and that his resilience extended far beyond public perception. His full-scale comeback came with Hacksaw Ridge, 2016, a World War II drama that showcased both his narrative boldness and his emotional depth as a filmmaker. The film tells the story of Desmond Doss, a pacifist combat medic who earned the Medal of Honor without ever carrying a weapon. It was a project perfectly aligned with Gibson's long-standing fascination with courage, conviction, and moral complexity. The film was a critical and commercial triumph, grossing $180 million on a $40 million budget and earning multiple Academy Award nominations. Hacksaw Ridge was more than just a box office success. It was a declaration that Gibson remained a formidable force in Hollywood, capable of directing large-scale productions while handling delicate emotional subject matter with nuance and authenticity. In the 2020s, Gibson has leaned heavily into directing, selecting projects that allow him to maintain artistic control. Sound of Freedom, 2023, further solidified his reputation for tackling stories that are both provocative and impactful. The project, combined with upcoming endeavors like the sequel to The Passion of the Christ and a potential fifth Lethal Weapon, signals a clear trajectory. Gibson now prioritizes creative autonomy over mainstream approval. These choices illustrate his continued commitment to telling stories he believes in, even if it means taking risks or navigating controversy, reaffirming that his career is defined not just by success, but by courage and conviction. Beyond filmography and awards, Mel Gibson's life is a study in resilience, reinvention, and the human capacity for growth. He has experienced the dizzying heights of blockbuster fame, the isolating depths of public scrutiny, and the volatile pressures of celebrity, all while maintaining a consistent drive to create, perform, and lead. His journey demonstrates that true artistry often requires risk, controversy, and unflinching self-belief. Gibson's story is not merely one of stardom or controversy. It is a chronicle of survival, ambition, and the power of vision. His career proves that talent, when paired with determination and the courage to forge one's own path, can endure and even thrive in the most unpredictable and unforgiving environments. From his humble beginnings in New York and Australia, to his rise as an international superstar, to his trials and redemption in adulthood, Mel Gibson remains a figure who defies easy categorization. He embodies the contradictions of Hollywood itself: brilliance intertwined with controversy, creative daring balanced against personal flaws, and legendary success paired with near collapse. His influence on film, his mentorship of future stars, and his unwavering commitment to telling stories on his own terms ensure that his legacy is far more than a collection of box office numbers or headlines. It is a testament to resilience, artistic integrity, and the enduring power of vision in the face of adversity. In many ways, Gibson's story is ongoing. Each project, whether acting or directing, reflects the same relentless pursuit of authenticity that has defined his career from the beginning. While Hollywood may have once questioned him, the trajectory of his life demonstrates that talent, ambition, and persistence ultimately leave a mark that no scandal, no controversy, and no obstacle can erase. Mel Gibson is and will remain an enduring figure in cinematic history, a man whose journey reminds us that greatness is rarely linear, often turbulent, but always possible for those willing to fight for it.